Hi, everyone. I'm Zach Reinhardt, and we're finally getting to take a little break from all this J pop that's been coming out this month. Though we're not quite done yet. There's still that Dempagumi Inc. album coming out, but we get to take a little break and review some indie stuff. Yay! As you may know, like a lot of indie stuff. And today I'm reviewing the new Tokumei Kibou album, Fuseru Nawanai. Tokumei Kibou is a indie rock band from Tokyo. They've been around since 2008. I believe this is their first full-length album, though they've had several like demos and compilations and EPs in the past. These guys first came to my attention in 2014 when they dropped an EP on their Bandcamp. I really liked what they were doing. And then we didn't really hear from them release wise in 2015, but they're back this year with a new album, Fuseru no Anai. And it is damn good. Songwriting wise, these guys are mostly drawing straight out of the kind of bloodthirsty butchers, number girl playbook. They aren't really reinventing the wheel, but the songs are solid. And where they really shine is not so much in the songwriting, but in their soundcraft. The guitars are just heavy and distorted, and the bass is thick and it's very loud. It takes up a lot of room in the mix, and the drums are just aggressive and like just so full of energy. They just propel the song forward from part to part. Real standout tracks are Domestic Chan, which is this just incredibly aggressive, fast paced, just in your face, loud punk track. Really, it is just propelled into you with just so much energy, and it's just such a thick mix. There is not room for anything in these songs. They've really taken the guitar, bass, drums, and vocals and just expanded them to fill up as much like possible room within a song as possible. There's no real quiet parts. The whole track is just dense and just a wall of guitars and pure human energy pushing into you through your speakers. It's really just gets my blood pumping, you know? And I also love the song Through and Through. It's the closer. This thing is just heavy and dense, but it's a lot slower than the rest of the songs. And it's like slow and heavy enough to where it almost feels like a doom metal track. Like, I would not be entirely surprised to hear that this was like some kind of early Melvins demo. It starts off with this really heavy, slow, like just thick, distorted guitar riff that when the rest of the band comes in builds into this really heavy, like almost doom metal-y riff that then calms down in the verse, but the guitars drop out, but just kind of leave this ringing feedback over top of it, and the vocals come in with this very kind of dark, melancholy melody. I love what the song is doing. The only real complaints I have are the vocals. They're good for the most part. I really like the kind of impassioned screams that the lead vocalist does. Female lead vocalist. But her just straight singing voice is just okay. And while I think it does well in most of the tracks, there are a few tracks where I feel like it kind of detracts. Specifically, Minare Nai, which is a much softer track, probably the softest track on the whole album. There's a lot more room for the vocals to take up on this song, and as a result, their shortcomings just become a little bit more noticeable. Like, I don't think they're bad, they're just kind of okay. And if I wanted to get real nitpicky, I could complain about the bass drum. I think it's a little too clicky and doesn't have as quite as much just oomph as I wanted from it. The rest of the rack toms and the snare all sound great. They're very big. They take up a lot of room when they're struck. But the kick drum is just kind of a click, which kind of neuters the drum set a little bit. It's still very aggressive and it still has a lot of energy, but I feel like it could have been almost as just monstrous as the drums were in like early Number Girl projects. But it's not much to complain about, really. So yeah, try not to rant and rave about this thing too much. It really wears its influences on its sleeve, like with the Number Girl and Bloodthirsty Butchers being kind of the most obvious to me. But it's not just a carbon copy. And they do a lot of justice to that sound. And overall, I'm just really loving this album. Even my least favorite track, I like a lot still. I'm feeling an 8.5 on this thing. There's definitely still room for improvement. I feel like the drums could be a little bit bigger and the bass could be a little less, just could be a little quieter. It's very loud in the mix. But overall, I really don't have much to complain about. Check it out on their Bandcamp, link in the description as usual. That's me. New Tokumei Kibou album. It's damn good. Check it out.